What's your favorite scary movie?
Pat from Pop Culture with Pat here with Piper Rubio talking about Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Piper, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So excited. The film's coming out tonight. I know it gets the wide release tomorrow, but hitting theaters this weekend. Can you just talk about to start off, how is Abby adjusting to life with her brother after the events that happened in the first film when we first meet her here?
So, she's definitely missing her friends. And she's also older, so she's facing like troubles like in school and stuff. Mike and Abby are a lot closer now because they were pretty disconnected and distant in the first one. That doesn't mean they don't still fight and bicker, you know,
Of
as
course.
siblings do. Yeah, it's really fun growing into Abby's character because I've grown up as Abby essentially because me and her are very similar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so as far as coming back for the sequel, did your approach to playing the character differ a little bit compared to how you approached playing the character that first time around? Like you said, you've kind of grown with her.
I don't think my approach changed too much because my approach was just like, I don't know. It's like I know her so well because she's a part of me where I can just be like, okay, I'm Abby now.
Well, what was it like to just see the world of Five Nights at Freddy's expand with the sequel? I mean, you get different characters coming here, you got more lore being added, so I'm sure that must have been really excited to see that come through in the sequel.
It was so exciting. Reading the script, I was reading it with my mom. I was freaking out at like everything because there's so much more lore and the sets have gotten bigger as well. So I've been like exploring all the sets, looking for lore, and I found some.
Of that.
And it's just really exciting seeing like because this it started off as like a little indie horror game, right? And now it's this huge thing with a massive fan base that just loves it so much. And I'm a part of that fan base. I love Five Nights at Freddy's because of this. And it's just so amazing watching it grow.
It must have been insane for you to see after the first film hit. You know you had that built-in audience, but just seeing how much it really connected with fans in the first film after that came out, and you guys had these huge box office numbers. Just seeing that connect with the audience like that, and I'm sure it sounds like the fans of that original, the games and everything are going to be in for a treat with the sequel here.
Yeah, I think the fans are going to love it. I watched it recently with my friend, one of my friends, and she freaked out. She freaked the heck out. We were like, oh my gosh, the whole time because lots of lore and there was one specific part where her jaw dropped.
That's so exciting. So yeah, I can't wait to check it out myself. And as far as you got to work with, one of the people you got to work with in the original film was Matthew Lillard. Can you talk about just how much fun it was getting to work with him and then having him back again for the sequel here?
Yeah, Matthew's awesome. I remember on the first one, right, I was a lot younger, so I was having a harder time like differentiating actor versus like their role. So when I first met Matthew, I was like, are you a murderer? He's not. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met. And the way he portrays William Afton is incredible. He like he adds so much to him. He understands how William is this deceptive manipulator that's like this disgusting human being, but he's very theatrical about it. He's done a great job.
Also has some other horror vets like McKenna Grace. You have Skeet Ulrich joining this film as well. So it must have been a one to have a blast to have another Five Nights at Freddy's fanatic like McKenna on set with you guys, but also having Skeet there. So can you just talk about what they kind of brought as performers to the sequel as well?
Yes, I had so much fun talking with McKenna because there's not many of them on set that are like huge fans in terms of the main cast. So me and her were like just talking about lore the whole time and theorizing, and it's really fun to have someone that understands it from a lore point of view. And she does an amazing job in the movie, and so does Skeet. Um, we didn't meet each other until after the movie, and he he told me the name of his character role, and I started freaking out because I didn't realize who he's playing because I didn't know who like that character was gonna be played by really,
Yeah.
and he didn't realize that his character was important.
That must have been fun just getting to kind of share that with him. And I know myself, being I'm a big Scream fan, my favorite movie of all time. So getting to see Skeet and Matthew reunite on a project, I mean, that's just super exciting itself. So getting to have all those vets on there must have just been an absolute blast for you guys. What out of all the different animatronics for you, Piper, what's the one that maybe creeps you out the most, would you say?
The marionette, it freaks me out. It's so scary. I saw it like slumped over in the dark on set inside of this cart. And I was like, and it's so big. And it's like got these spindly, wibbly limbs. It's I'm not really like super scared with the other animatronics because they're like I've known them since the first one. I'm like, oh yay, my friends, and I know like, the stunt actors inside. But with the marionette, people like it's there and it's like it's
Creepy.
they did
Yeah.
a really good job like taking it like the scariness from the game and just like taking it even farther, the marionette.
And when you to in those scenes in the different movies, when you have to act terrified, I know sometimes you do have those puppets to go off of. So it sounds like the marionette didn't take a lot for maybe for you to be kind of creeped out. But for other moments when you have to act like you're terrified, you're super scared in the moment, how do you kind of prepare for some of those scenes and help yourself get into that mindset of being so terrified for a scene like that?
Well, I take a lot from reality, and sometimes for the scarier scenes, yeah, it is scary, and they can make it scary. But also, some things just scare Abby personally, not myself. And Abby's part of me, so I can imagine how that's really scary to her because she's not experiencing this with like people making silly voices inside of the suits. No, she's like, why is this giant piece of metal doing this? It's scaring me.
I would be freaked out. I mean, I know as a kid growing up, I had the Chuck E. Cheeses, and they had the animatronics that are very similar to what we see in the film. And you didn't realize it, I think, as a kid so much, but looking back on them and seeing pictures, you're like, yeah, those things are pretty creepy. So I could totally understand
I was terrified of Chuck E. Cheese. I was so scared of
that.
animatronics. I was at a birthday party once at Chuck E. Cheese, and I was eating my pizza, and Chuck E. was like,
Yeah,
and
I don't
I was
blame
really
you.
scared of them. And then I'm at the animatronics. I'm like, these guys are my best friends. Like, for some reason, them being possessed by dead children made me like less scared of them. I don't know, like the thought of them being kids, I guess.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. And as far as just, I mean, for both the first film and the second film, what have been some of the most impressive things for you to see translate from the script to the screen, whether it was just, specific characters or some of the animatronics, I'm sure seeing those or even the different sets.
No, it's hard to pinpoint it because it's a lot like grander on the screen, and some things are just like so well executed. And everyone's performance really plays into that. And everything's so well done. And reading the script and then watching it is very different because you're watching it and there's so many Easter eggs that like weren't really stated in the script, but then I saw on the big screen, and that was really exciting.
But yeah, I mean that's super exciting for big fans of the series. And speaking of the fans too, how have the fans continued to impress you with just how passionate they are for this franchise? We were talking about how successful the first film was, and I'm sure over the years you've probably seen different fan edits and things like that you've been in tagged in. So how have they continued to impress you with their passion?
Okay, one of the craziest things when we were at the premiere, right? I'm looking to like this crowd in front of where we're doing the interviews and stuff, like at the carpet. And someone's holding this like almost one-to-one recreation of the marionette and like waving it around above the crowd, along with people holding like cosplay heads of the animatronics. I saw Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Toy Freddy and Mangle, and then a Vanny and a Springtrap, like cosplay heads. But that was so crazy, and I was like, and like just seeing them because they're amongst the crowd. Like the fans are really dedicated to this, and I think that's amazing.
Oh yeah. No, I mean that's so cool. And to wrap things up for you, Piper, is there anything else that you would like to say as well? What can fans kind of expect with this sequel, and where can people stay up to date with you moving forward?
You should be prepared to be blown away because it's incredible. No, it's just Instagram.
Just Instagram. All right. Sounds great. Well, th I just want to say thank you so much for your time today. It was
Thank you
wonderful.
so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Congratulations on the film, Piper, and you are welcome back anytime in the future.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.